Hey guys, well, here we are in the apocalypse of 2020. Sorry we can't meet today face to face, but as several of you had mentioned, the concerns over Tree of Life and what goes on there and how sure we could be that it's sanitized. So I'm just going to send out this video instead and challenge you guys to get together with each other and have some conversations about the study and really be intentional about meeting with your accountability partner, at least over the phone. So in this email that I'm sending you, I'm also sending you a whole slew of Bible verses about fear, because the entire world is going crazy, and even the Christian people in this world are a little bit panicked, obviously, with everything that's going on. So I really recommend that you all spend some time in the Word, looking through the Bible verses about fear, and again, not getting so tied up as the world does, and trusting that God has a plan in and through this situation, and He plans to prosper you even now. So again, I hope that you don't get too twisted up and that you really do focus on the Word, not only for yourself, but to lead your family and lead those you influence as well in a better way than a fearful way. Last week we covered several things, one of which was fear of God, and I asked a question, and again, I don't know whether you had a chance to talk to your accountability partners, but these are the things I wanted you to go over. Was, do you have reverence for God? And talk about how you represent that. And not only now a fear of God, but just a fear of what's going on in our world. Do you trust God? Do you know that He's still in control? Those are the questions that'd be great for you guys to talk about amongst yourselves and your accountability groups and partners. Number 2 was keep His commands. We talked about being selfish or selfless. Which one are you? How do you show selfless love to your spouse and your family? Again, great questions to ask one another. Don't be afraid to go to the next level. Get below the surface with each other and really challenge each other to be all that each other can be with the spouse and with your family. And then lastly, the question was including God in your planning. I asked you to just think about examples of decisions that you've made in the past, that you're having to make today, even with the crisis that's going on in the world. Are you going to make a decision on fear, or are you going to make a decision based on your faith in Jesus Christ? So again, I hope you guys make the time. Now, we all seem to be in a virtual world now, so we certainly should have time. We're giving up an hour plus on Wednesday morning to just do this virtually. So I hope you spend time with each other, at least on the phone, talking through some of these questions. This week, what we were going to do, and we can do again virtually, is to watch the video that is in the link in this email that you guys should watch on your own, and go through the workbook and start answering some of the questions that are there on page basically 78 through 79, or I'm sorry, 78 through 89 are all the questions that you'll have about today's video that I hope you get to watch. Starting with some of the questions from last week is just, what are the dangers of going through the motions? Again, so many of these questions are now so much more prevalent with the current situation than they were last week even. So it's really important that you guys get together and answer these questions and ask the deep questions, and don't be afraid to connect with one another and be willing to go deep. And we talked about why maintaining integrity is so important. Again, we talked about integrity not only being doing the right thing for the right reasons, but also having balance in your life. So do you have the balance that you need in your life? Are you out of balance? Please talk about that with one another. So again, what I hope you do is watch this video. It's really all about integrity, living up to legitimate standards, really living up to God's standards. And now more than ever, we get an opportunity to witness to our neighbors and to our friends on how to live up to a different standard than what this world will allow us to live. So next week what we'll do, this week what I propose is that you watch the video, spend some time with your accountability partner, at least make a commitment to talk on the phone for a half hour or so. Talk about those 3 questions that I asked to start: how you're fearing God, how you're keeping His commandments, and how you're including Him in your planning. Talk a little bit about this week's video and what it meant to you, and then make time for next week, and I'll send a new video of what I learned and what I got out of the study for you to think about next week. But then next week I want you to again connect with your accountability partners and go through pages 78 through 89, which talks about the Bible studies that you're to do during the week. But please do them. I know as I look around the room, generally when we're together, I don't see a lot of guys actually writing in these workbooks, and that's what they're for. So please take the time. Again, I think we all have a little bit more time on our hands because most of us aren't commuting and we're at home. And take the time to dig into this Bible study, dig into the Word, and make it your own, and then hold each other accountable. And on that point, what I'd like to do is also mix up our accountability partners. I don't want you guys to get stale. I know some of you have gotten comfortable with one another, and that's great. But I also want you all to realize that we should be comfortable with everybody in the group. So I'm going to mix it up, and again in this email are the new pairings that I suggest. We do have an odd number of guys, so I volunteered Chris to go ahead and pair up with both Nathan and Tim for this go around, so you guys can do a conference call together and spend some time on the study. So the new pairings are Ryan and Tony, Justin and John, who is new to our group, John Wyman, that y'all can virtually welcome, Adam and Aaron, Devin and Randy, Sam and Josh, and Nick is out of town for now, so selling carpets in some foreign land. So we'll just go ahead and leave him off the list unless, Nick, you're able to call in, and we can split up the Nathan, Chris, and Tim team, and you can pair with one of them. So just let me know, Nick, if you want to be part of this accountability moving forward. So guys, again, please look through the Bible verses that are included in this email. Spend some time studying them. Spend some time sharing them with your wife and with your kids, and be the leader in faith that God is calling you to be. Thanks a lot, and I will connect again with you next week.